Today we're talking about how to share your tree at Ancestry.com when we come back. Now, why should you share your tree? You know, it's funny, I get asked this question all the time, and it is so crazy simple, but there are some things that you should know about sharing your tree with someone else at Ancestry.com. So if we jump over to trees, now the easiest thing for you to do is to hit the little share button over here, and you've got three options. You can email it to somebody, you can use a username, or you can use the shareable link, which is my favorite way to do this. You can click on share a link, but here's what you really should know is how you can share it with either as a guest, a contributor, or an editor. So now the quick answer is, as a guest, they only have the rights to see your tree. But as a contributor, they can add to your tree, add documents to your tree. As an editor, they have full rights, just like you do. So what you need to be mindful of is that you can also click Can See Living People. So even as a guest, if you invite them, you're sharing that you're going to show all living people. That could be your siblings and whatnot. I don't advise this because those living people might be family members who have not given permission for you to share their personal information. So I don't do this. And so once you have created which role it is that you want, then, you know, guest, contributor, or editor, then all you have to do is hit create link, and it creates a link. You can copy it right here, and it saves it to your clipboard, and then you can share it in an email or some other fashion. Now, whoever has that link is going to have all the same rights, right? So be mindful of that. But otherwise, it's pretty easy. Now, if you want more information about how much information that you're giving away when you share your link, there is a document up in the Help Support Center, and if you type how to share your tree, the very first one that pops up is this document to walk you through that. Now, with that, it does give you more information about the guest role, the contributor role, and the editor role. I highly recommend that you take a look at that so you know exactly what kind of permissions that you are giving to the people that you're sharing your tree with. Now also keep in mind that while you're in your tree, you can come over here and you can click right in the middle of your tree and see the tree overview, and you can also see your tree settings and a sharing button here as well. If we go to tree settings, you can see more information about your tree, and up here at the top you can see your privacy settings. And this is where you can make your tree public or private, okay? And here's all the information about how it's public, but over here in the sharing column, and keep in mind some of this is blurred out due to privacy reasons because I've got other people who are invited to some of my trees. But here's where you can set their guest roles and see kind of all of the people. So if you have several children or grandchildren or friends, or people you're trying to help, you can see who's been invited to your tree. So if there is somebody that you want to remove from having the rights to see your tree, this is where you would do it. Again, that was up here. You click on this, you click on tree settings. When you're in the tree settings, you hit sharing, and here's where you can remove them from seeing it. Now you can also create a guest link from here as well. And again, you can click Can See Living People. You can give them a nickname, and you can remove or make a copy URL. Now every time you make a copy of this URL, it's going to create a unique link for each person that you share that tree with. That way you know who's watching, who has access to your tree. Okay, so if you want to make sure that your tree survives you, and you want to hand it down to your kids or your grandkids, or you want somebody to have total rights, go back to the sharing tab, and you can create a link that gives them editor rights. That gives them pretty much full rights to do just about anything in the tree. And so just be mindful of that. And that way, heaven forbid, we get run over by a bus tomorrow, somebody else has total access to the tree. And so I highly recommend that if you've got some kids or grandkids or somebody that you want to have access to that tree, I would suggest you do that. But make sure you trust that person wholly, because they have total access to your tree, including the rights to delete it. So make sure that you understand that. So that's it in a nutshell. It's pretty easy. Just hit the share button, decide what kind of contributor rights you want to give them. You can send them an email just by clicking that link and then go over to your email and type it in there, or you can send them an email directly from your tree. Now you'll also be able to see if they've actually accepted the invitation when you invite them from the Ancestry tree. That's all I got today. I hope that was helpful. If so, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified each time I upload a video. Be thinking about that tree as we move on in our life and beyond. I'll talk to you later. It's time for you to go find your ancestors.